Creatures of the night, it's your girl Tati. Let's talk about Ring of Honor. I watched the show and I knocked out. Y'all almost didn't get this review, but I'm up. I'm up for you guys. We had a pretty great show. I would say this because I know a lot of y'all have been watching my reviews. Y'all waiting to hear me say, go on ahead, take your little checkbooks out and pay that $9.99 for the Honor Club subscription. Now, look, I'm not telling you what to do or what to do, but I would say here that the shows have actually improved in the past month or so. There are some things that they still need to work on in terms of really grabbing you to want to pay on a monthly basis, and I feel like we have a lot more work to do, but the quality of the shows has absolutely improved. If you just love to sit there and watch really great matches and hope for better storylines, then go on ahead and spend your $9.99 for the Honor Club. We started off with Angelico teaming up with Serpentico. The Spanish Announce Project is back. Angelico had been injured for quite some time. Serpentico been holding the fort down by himself. Don't even ask me about Luther. Y'all know what Luther's up to. He is with Tony Storm. They go against local talent, and I am watching these two guys. I'm just like, they make a really great team. And since we haven't seen them in a while, I kind of forgot how great that they are in terms of their chemistry as a team. Like, if we weren't sitting here begging for Sammy Guevara and Dustin to put them tag titles on the line, they would actually make really great contenders to go for those titles. Spanish Announce Project ends up taking the win. And I am interested in seeing a lot more than what we were seeing in terms of just them just doing matches. Would love to see some promos. I know Angelico will do more than talking, obviously, but we need a lot more if we want people to get behind this team, especially since Angelico has been out of action for months. So more TV time for a Spanish Announce Project. After this, Lord have mercy, Blake Christian. Blake's gonna give it to you every single time. I love Blake. Blake went against Titus Alexander. This was so good. This was so motherfucking good. And I'm looking at Titus. I'm like, oh, baby, I've seen you before. Had to pull out the phone, check Instagram. And yes, I like what I'm seeing. He was really, really great. Had great chemistry with Blake Christian. And I am nervous when things like this happen. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when people aren't signed with AEW and they're using local talent, this is them basically promoting these wrestlers without them being under contract, and then you get these people get called up to be WWE ID. So Tony Khan, you're giving local talent a lot more TV time than usual, especially this past few weeks on Ring of Honor. If these are people that you're serious of using more often, then you're going to have to give them some type of contract, something, so that you don't get them snatched up, like a whole bunch of them got snatched up from you with the WWE ID program. Now, really great match here. Great chemistry. One of the best matches of the night. Blake Christian, he is on a winning streak in terms of singles matches. He was on the pre-show for Revolution for what reason, I don't know. His team ended up taking the loss on that. I'm kind of not liking when they're putting Ring of Honor stuff, mixing them with AEW stuff, and then try to explain things in terms of, oh, well, he still got his streak going in singles matches. Like, bitch, I should have never put him on the damn pre-show to represent Ring of Honor. Whatever, let me not get into it. Blake Christian is taking the win with a Vanilla Choke Zero. I fucking love that name. Vanilla Choke Zero. And I can't not wait to see what ends up happening here. I do feel like they're definitely gearing for Blake to continue his singles streak, as they say, so that he can get his hands on Commander and maybe even take that damn TV title off of him. If that's the case, I'm ready. I'm ready for that. Up next, ladies action in the only women's match. Typically, we get like two women's matches on Ring of Honor. There's been times where it's been more than two women's matches on Ring of Honor. So this is definitely one of those times where it's just like, oh, okay, just one. Layla Gray, who has debuted this new look. Her look is, it's cute. It's really, really cute. However, it's different. It's different. Her hat is giving me very much old school lampshade that you would see at Granny's house in the 90s, and it's very interesting. Oh my God. I feel like they're trying to repackage Layla. She does a promo where she says that she has allowed people to get wins over her, and just being happy with just getting TV time rather than just going out there and being the baddest bitch and end up taking the win every single time, and that she's coming out there with a new attitude. And I did see that tonight, and who better to do that against than Lady Frost? Lady Frost, that's my girl. She really is my girl. Lady Frost, for those of you who don't know, has been teaming up with Taya Valkyrie over in CMLL. They've been doing a tournament, a tag tournament for the women in CMLL. They've already won 2 matches. Who knows how far they're gonna make it in terms of this tournament, but they're doing really great. But Lady Frost, not so great on Ring of Honor, taking the millionth L once again. This was a great showing for both of these ladies, especially Layla Gray. However, a win with a roll-up, I'm never impressed with roll-ups. We could have did a little bit better, especially now that we're trying to repackage Layla. Not with a roll-up. I didn't like that. All right, so we had the Frat House, which was Tony Nese. Well, no. We had Tony Nese, Aria Daivari teaming up with the Frat House. Cole Carter, Preston Vance. Oh, they look so good. And Jack Jameson was out there too. Oh my God, the new gear that the Frat House has, they're like black and like a royal blue and white and gray, whatever. It's cute. I like it. I wouldn't buy it, but I do think it's cute. They're obviously teaming up with Premier Athletes. Mark Sterling is out there as well. They went against Top Flight and Gates of Agony. And I'm just like, oh my God, Gates of Agony came through the babyface side. And I almost wanted to cry because they've been typically, I guess, heels or tweeners for a long time. And honestly, I think tonight was the first time I seen them come out the babyface side. So I was just like, okay, this is definitely new, obviously. And then with them teaming up with Top Flight, it's like we have to beg Tony Khan to see Top Flight. Like, I don't know what's going on in terms of why we can't see Top Flight much more regularly. They've been part of the company for a really long time, and I have not yet seen the payoff. They be doing my boys dirty. This was such a good match. Matter of fact, I felt like both of these teams had really great chemistry where we could just have an 8-man tag championship. It's like, why not? No, you know what? Never mind. We don't even know what the hell we're doing with the titles that we got right now. So adding more titles is definitely not going to help. But I felt like everyone had really great chemistry. Gates of Agony teaming up with Top Flight. I was like, I would love to see them together more often. I love how they're having, I know this might be a little bit more typical, the Samoan guy, Toliona, doing Samoan things, grabbing Dante Martin to throw him onto opponents and being this wild kind of beast out there. And I was like, I like that. I really do. You see how much fun they're having here. The crowd is eating this up, and I like that. And when you're seeing the crowd reacting to this, you're like, well, why are we not seeing these guys more often? Baby, I have no clue what's going on with that. Great matchup. Unfortunately, if so look, I like the new group. Frat House. They've actually only taken L's since they've been a group. I don't want them to fall into that niche of what we're doing with Premier Athletes, where it's like every time you see these guys, they will be losing. I hate seeing that shit. Like, give these guys some win. These are really young guys who are just trying to make a name out of themselves. They're really great wrestlers. They just got a whole new faction going on, and we could do a lot better when it comes to that. Gates of Agony and Top Flight ends up taking the win. They did look a little bit better out there. I would love to see them doing an 8-man tag match again. Now, after this, we do get backstage, while the Frat House ended up taking the L, they still got some reason to celebrate. I don't know what it is. They got their red little solo cups. They're drinking whatever they're drinking, and they're celebrating, and we're moving on to hopefully another match, but this time with a win. While the whole group ends up walking away, Preston Vance is there, and here is Dark Order pulling up. And he's just like, oh, well, what y'all doing here? Didn't I get rid of y'all like trash? And I was just like, you know what? You did. You did. Now, look, Dark Order, I don't know. Sometimes I try to stick it up for them, but then most of the times I'm just like, baby, this is a plug that y'all need to pull the plug. it's just not working. Maybe they should just be doing something else, or just don't be Dark Order anymore and just do something completely different. I don't know, but it looks like we're starting off to have maybe some type of feud with Preston and the Dark Order. Whatever the situation is, don't put Preston back with these motherfuckers ever again. After this, we had Dark Panther going against Aaron Solo. Dark Panther, oh my god, I started following him on Instagram as well. I like what I'm seeing. Dark Panther has already won an opportunity to go against Commander for the TV title. So he's been doing multi-man matches and a couple of singles matches as well. Aaron Solo, baby, we do appreciate having you in the ring, but he's another one. When you see him, he's taking the L. Didn't he get jobbed out the other day on Dynamite or Collision or something? Whatever the situation is, he actually there. See, here's the thing. What I'm noticing is that even with the local talent or the typical jobbers within AEW, at least recently, it's not in go in there and lose after 2-3 moves. It's literally them actually getting a good amount of TV time, but end up taking the L. So we do appreciate that. Dark Panther obviously going for that TV title next week, so he got to take the win here. And I thought they did really, really great. Now, Commander is outside. He probably bought a ticket like everybody else and watched the match from front row. And he's watching the match. And after the match, Dark Panther ends up confronting him, and Commander jumps over the barricade, and they're about to get into it. And we have to keep these guys away from each other, save the violence for next week. TV title on the line. We'll see whatever happens with that. I don't see that title going anywhere, honestly. If anything, the title will definitely change hand on the pay-per-view. Speaking of pay-per-view, Tony Khan, is already March. Damn near the middle of March, and we have no word on Supercard of Honor, which is typically at the end of March, early April. Still no word on that. After this, we have Lee Johnson going against Shibata. Shibata, Lord have mercy. I love Shibata. He's just amazing to me. I already knew where they was going with this. Shibata, who is part of the tournament for the AEW International Eliminator, whatever thing that they got going on. He's going to be going against Ricochet on Saturday, so he needs a little warm-up, little tune-up match before he has that match on Collision. And honestly, I didn't really feel like we should have had him going against Lee Johnson. Lee Johnson has absolutely improved, and sometimes I feel like they make sacrifices where they shouldn't have to make sacrifices. Shibata could have gone against someone else that could definitely take the win. With the improvement that I've been seeing with Lee Johnson, I wish that this didn't happen. Shibata ends up taking the win. Even though Lee Johnson looks great, I just feel like we need to do a little bit better when it comes to booking certain people on the show, where it's just like, all right, we're pushing them towards something, and all of a sudden we forgot about it because we need to have the people that's competing on AEW TV look better before their matches on Collision or Dynamite. And honestly, I'm not with it. I don't like that at all. But Shibata, he looked good taking the win. Main event, we have the second coming of Christ, Mystico, teaming up with Atlantis and Esfinge to go against Euphoria, Rocky Romero, and Gran Guerrero. I feel like they always teaming up. Why do I feel like I've seen this match like 3 times in a row? I don't know what it is. They keep removing like 1 or 2 people or whatever, and it's yeah, whatever. Oh my gosh. Why are they so perfect? Lord have mercy. Why are they so perfect? Hey, one of the reasons why Ring of Honor has absolutely improved is that we've been seeing CMLL wrestlers on the show consistently for about a month or so now. And every time they go out there, I am just amazed every single time. And the crowd is too. You can hear the crowd. Like, they're more into these matches, you know, the flippy shit and all that stuff, but they are so good at what they do, and you can just hear the crowd being more loud when it comes to these matches in terms of the typical Ring of Honor wrestlers that we have on a weekly basis. That's a good thing. Well, you know what? It's both good and bad. Now, we're having a strong focus on CMLL wrestlers as of late. And rightfully so. They are the ones that are getting the crowd really into the show. And every time they go out there, they're winning us over even more. Mystico, obviously, like I said, second coming of Christ. Why would he be losing anything? Ends up taking the win. His team ends up taking the win. Rocky Romero, I'm telling you, he doesn't get enough credit for what he does. He really doesn't. I am liking CMLL wrestlers being on because I do feel like these matches are very well put together, and it gives a different entertainment because of different style that they have compared to everyone else on the show. However, once again though, not in a good way, it's stealing the spotlight from everyone else, to be honest with you. Now, with that being the case, while I said that we still didn't have a date for a Supercard of Honor pay-per-view, this could have turned into something where it's just like the Ring of Honor typical people would be going against CMLL wrestlers, not necessarily like an invasion type of thing, but like, oh, y'all always getting all the TV time and everything, and it's Ring of Honor versus CMLL, because typically we've been seeing CMLL wrestlers going against CMLL wrestlers, which is why these matches are so great. But it would be nice to see a CMLL a roster versus Ring of Honor. That would be actually really, really cool if they were to do that for the next pay-per-view. Not sure that's where they're going, but Tony Khan, we're waiting on the info on the new show. You guys, thank you for watching my review. I will be back on Saturday with Collision. I'll see you guys then. Bye.